Now you're older than me. Yes. Hello, everyone. Oh, got it. Here we go. Hello, and welcome to today's meeting of the FFLGuard constituency. This is our pre-SHOT Show meeting, so we can talk about stuff that maybe we want to tee up to ATF when we see them next week, because we have multiple meetings lined up with ATF executives and ATF boots on the ground. We have both formal and informal meetings lined up. And at the show will be me and Brian and Avis and Deborah manning the booths, and also Michael working the floor and shaking hands with the ATF guys. And I will, of course, be there as well. We have a hearing that Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday, we'll be prepping and having a hearing, and then we will proceed with doing our SHOT Show thing for the remainder of the week. Lot of good news for us between the last meeting and today. I believe, and Franzi, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we won another 3 cases. Won another 4 for our clients. So we are on a really good run, and I hope that we have a couple more wins in store for us as the February comes closer. But just wanted everybody to know that we've had some success, and I see some folks on the phone who we have represented in some of these hearings, so I trust that they are happy, or they would not be here. But other than that, things have been, I don't know, Brian, what do you want to say? It's sort of slightly, I mean, Christmas and New Year's did bring a little reprieve, I want to say. We weren't getting murdered with help desk questions. But we were still busy, and things are still active, and ATF's still out there, and things are still going on. But other than that, it's business as usual. So I won't belabor the intro here. Oh, Bouchard has arrived. I see his smiling face now. His car is all repaired. So with me today, who do we want to start with? I like starting with Franzak, because he always has like a bullet point list of things he wants to talk about, which is very non-extemporaneous.
Very good. Good morning, everybody. Just going to jump off of what Chris was mentioning about the SHOT Show coming up next week. One thing I just wanted to mention, everybody, what we proposed to ATF was that they at least semi-annually, or at least quarterly, possibly, be available to provide you all with some type of instruction, being on the call like this, or we can do a separate one. We'll have to discuss that later. But since they already go to the National Shooting Sports Foundation meetings, they travel to those. I think they go to one working advisor. There's no reason why ATF could not come on here and go over rulings, 4473s, whatever, with everybody, provide that training class. It could be an NFA instruction on forms or whatever. And it's a good opportunity for you all to ask them questions too at the same time. So that's what one of the items we wanted to bring up with ATF next week was that. And I don't think that should be any issue for them doing this, because it's no travel involved for them. It's easy. They just hop on like you guys do. And they have a lot of these classes that they provide already available. So it should not be a heavy lift for them to do that for everybody here. I think it'll be good for you too, because it'll give you access to them in a chat room where they'll have somebody answering questions on whatever topic they provide right away, so they can give you those answers in real time also. So that's one thing I wanted to update you on, is that. Other thing, I was gearing up this today to possibly be able to discuss the arm brace ruling. However, obviously that has not came out yet. It is still, as I understand from ATF last week, at the end of last week, it's still in review, which probably means it's still in review by OMB, Office of Management and Budget. So they're the last line of defense prior to releasing it to everybody. But what I will do is, just so you all, just to refresh everybody's memories about this, I forget who was always asking questions about this, was we really truly don't know until the ruling comes out. It might have been, was it Ken maybe? I'm not sure if he was the one bringing a lot of questions up about it. But just so you know, just some things in that ruling when it went in the Federal Register, there's some things in there that they were proposing as fixes regarding this. And there's a couple of different areas I'll just discuss with you. I'm not going to go into heavy detail about anything, but it's going to be for unlicensed individuals, FFLs who have paid SOT and as a manufacturer, and then FFLs who have not paid SOT. So there's three different categories. One, for FFLs, what we're proposing at is, if you have a firearm with a stabilizing brace, you would fill out the Form 2, Notice of Firearms Manufactured, if you want to maintain it as an NFA weapon. And this comes out. If you're an FFL without SOT, you would complete the Form 1, and you have to pay the SOT. I mean, the transfer tax of $200. So that's without an FFL without NFA SOT would fill a Form 1 out, and you would pay the $200 transfer tax. FFL, who's, let's say, an 07, who has paid the NFA SOT, you would do a Form 2. Of course, that would be no transfer tax. Now that comes to the other part of it is, this is again proposal, is if you're an unlicensed individual, so to speak, who is in possession of the stabilizing brace, and you have a barrel that's less than 16 inches, which qualifies as a short barrel rifle, which is why this is going to go into NFA. One thing they're proposing as part of that, again, this is in the Federal Register, was that you permanently remove or alter this, or permanently remove or alter the stabilizing brace such that it cannot be reattached. That's one item there. This then it would take that out of the NFA. 2, you can remove the short barrel and attach a 16-inch or longer barrel to the firearm. Then that would take it out from under the NFA. Now, here's the other two that you'll probably like. That was part of the proposal. 1, you destroy the firearm. I don't think a lot of people are going to do that. Or 4, you turn the firearm into your local ATF office. I don't think anybody's going to do that either, but they could. And then those individuals who have this, if they want to keep it and register it with NFA, they would also have to fill out the Form 1, pay the $200 tax, but they have to ensure that everything, the name, city, state, the maker of the firearm is properly marked on that firearm. So it's a little bit difficult for them. I'm sure they're going to be relying on a lot of FFLs and everybody else if they're in possession of that firearm right now. But that's just some of the proposals that were going out in the Federal Register. Those 3 different categories: individual, FFL with SOT paid, FFL without SOT paid. So if you're an FFL who has paid your NFA SOT, that's the easiest route. If you want to keep it, you're simply going to register it on that Form 2, and that's it for you guys. However, how long that's going to take, no one knows. How long do they give you to do this? It could be anywhere from 90 to 120 days or longer. They'll give people to be able to make that determination of what they want to do with that. But we thought it was going to be out the ATF was telling me mid-December, and they told me last week of December. Well, here we are. We're in the second week of January, and still nothing. And Mike Bouchard knows this too. I would have really thought that this would have been out already because of the SHOT Shows coming up. And they like to get rulings out like this before the SHOT Show so they can discuss it with everybody at the SHOT Show. However, again, it could still come out this week, so we'll see. I've been looking and trying. They're probably tired of me emailing a lot of people and texting people saying, is it coming out? Is it coming out? And they just keep telling me, no, not yet. So when it does, we'll let you know, and we'll have to look it over and make sure we understand thoroughly what's going on there. But I just want to give everybody a little bit update on that. Still waiting for that, and just give you some of those scenarios that they were thinking about when it was put into the Federal Register. Now, there's also this sheet that they were looking at, a point system kind of sheet. I've heard back and forth that this was not going to be included, or it still is. I've not heard anything more on that. And maybe that's part of the whole issue of being held up, is this possibly a point system sheet that would put it into the NFA category or not. So just want to give everybody a little heads up on that. Still waiting, unfortunately, but that's it for me right now. But yes, as Chris said, the hearings are going really well for us right now. And we continue to work on them. It's been very busy. Remember, as I always said in here, make sure no gun goes out of your store without all your NICS information completed in there. And the all of the questions regarding the background questions on individuals too. We got to make certification ones, make sure those are answered properly also. So that's it for me this morning, Chris.
So Mike, you know, in the past, pre-Mike Franzak and with Jim Zamillo, we had opportunities to meet with ATF, but I never wanted to do them as part of a call like this, because I didn't want to violate any attorney-client privileges that we share with this group. And that was A. And B was that I felt as though they wouldn't have anything valuable to add. Now, as time has changed and things are really dynamic over there, it may be a good idea to do something, but we would, of course, do it separate than this call. So a freestanding situation, A. B, we would probably have to provide them with a lot of input, meaning they want the cheat sheet on what we're going to ask them, right? Just like our meetings. But C, the third thing I was thinking about was, you know, every single time we have gone to a hearing in the past, however many months, they always say the same thing, whichever faction of ATF it is, you know, whichever regional faction it is. Anytime you want us to give a seminar, we'll come out to you. That's what we're here for. Just ask, blah, blah, blah. So my suggestion is that we take advantage of any one of these regional folks, let's say, to present on a more national stage, which is here. Ideally, ATF is one bureau, right? It's not 24 factions like Game of Thrones. It is one. So even if we can't get Mariana Mitchum to give us somebody from headquarters, we could probably ask any single one of them. Louisiana, Houston, where else have we been? That they're all Chicago, Detroit. Have one of them come on and talk to us about the cause of the day, you know? So just a thought. With that being said, let's move right along to Mike Bouchard. Mike, you're on mute. Oh, you are not on mute. Nice to have you back. I hope your car is operational again.
Yep.
And what do you have for us?
Just a couple things on that arm brace. When I spoke to the deputy director a couple weeks ago, he mentioned that they were trying to get this out in time for the SHOT Show, but the red tape at the Justice Department with all the levels of approval, it's taken longer than expected. So again, as Mike said, hopefully they'll have it done here in the next week or two. There is an entire change of leadership at ATF from the director on down. The only one that's still there is the deputy director, Marvin Richardson. So we're still trying to feel all these people out. A lot of them are brand new in their positions, just came in from the field, did not spend a lot of time in headquarters. So we're going to meet with ATF at the SHOT Show for a little while, both in a group setting and then one-on-one. So try and get a better idea of what their thoughts are. In particular, is we've talked about the deadly sins that put people out of business when they just made an innocent mistake. So we've talked to them, the previous leadership there, about that, and they were sympathetic. They were looking for examples all the time that they could bring to justice. So we'll try and do that with this group also. If you've got one guarantee, if you lose any guns and ATF tries to trace them, and you can't find the gun, you can expect you're going to have an inspection very soon after that phone call. So if you're missing any guns in inventory and you've done your due diligence, can't find them, make the report of theft loss. You don't want to get caught where they're trying to trace a gun and you don't have it, can't find it. That's almost a guarantee that they're going to come after you. So please do that. And then I would reach out to all your local ATF offices. They do local training. Document that you asked, hey, if you have any local training, can we attend? And keep that in your file so that if there is an issue later on, we can document that you've been trying to get some additional training and insights from ATF. Penny, any questions? That's all I've got.
I had a thought for you, but it escaped me. So maybe I'll think about it while Brian and or Avis are recapping the help desk. What do you got going on at the help desk, Brian?
A lot. Thankfully everybody has been using it. We do appreciate it. It definitely helps, especially when we're all on the road a lot, and January is not going to be any different. So please, no matter what, every week, once a week, Mike Avis and I get together and we go through every single question that's pending together, and we try and hit them as they come in. But remember, we are all going to be at SHOT next week as well. So you can come bring your questions in person and we can talk to you. You always have the webinars every Monday where we can answer questions for you. And we do thank you for your patience and understanding that it's been overwhelming in the help desk lately because of everything that's been going on. But other than that, a lot of it is relating to, I would say, we haven't seen a lot of new 4473 questions yet. I assume they're on their way down the road. Please, everybody, remember that new 4473 is mandatory as of April 1, correct, Mike? April 1. And ATF stands by that they will be available in the middle of February to order. If you want to change over to the new form now, which we do not suggest, FFLGuard does not suggest changing over to the new form now, because remember, once you change over, once you do one new form, you've got to continue using that form going forward. You can no longer use that 2020 form. So let's wait until we know everything is finalized, set in stone, ready to go. Before you move over. We know that the software providers are working on it. I know that Fastbound is working on it, as I just spoke to those guys last week. So be ready for the new 4473. That's really all I can think of right now, Avis. Remind everybody again of our booth and everything for SHOT, yes, please.
Yes, our booth is on level 1. It is number 41126. Please come see us. We want to put a face to everybody. That's always nice.
Yeah. And we have lapel pins for all of our clients. We have lapel pins for you. We'd like you to come over and you could put it with your patches on your bag everywhere, but please come see us for that.
The other thing too is if you want to have a private or quasi-private meeting with me, one-on-one, then just talk to Brian or Avis about where I'm going to be and they'll set it up. They'll figure it out. Because I don't even know where I'm going to be, but we can line it all up, and I'm happy to talk to anybody who doesn't want to be part of a larger group. Anytime that week, I'll be there. With no hanky panky today, huh? No hanky Asek. He's probably shining his shoes for next week. I know Rick's going to be out there, so a lot of NFA questions we can pepper him with, whether he's semi-retired or not. And other than that, I really don't have anything else for today.
Avis, did you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
And so, Chuck will be there, Chris. Chuck will be there from California. I know he will be there, but I don't think Matt or anybody else will be.
Chuck will be there trying to get me to drink whiskey and be a bad person, because that's all he does whenever we're there. Mm-hmm. Which I can embrace being a bad person. I'm all right with that. at the end of the day, if you have questions that you want us to present for you, please send them to the help desk. And whether we have ATF's ear formally, or I'm like Blofeld, formally or informally, we will ask those questions. So that'll be that for today. Half an hour. Our next meeting will be in February. And let's aim for. Do we want to do it before the Sports Inc. show, Brian?
Yeah, let's do the week before that, because I think that Monday is Valentine's Day this year, isn't it? Is it something like that?
Tuesday.
So we'll do it on February 13th, which is Monday. We won't do that? Why did you say that?
I'll be on the road,
Um,
but we can. I mean, I can do it from the road. Doesn't matter.
I was gonna say, this is a Zoom call. What the hell does it
Yeah.
matter? What?
Yeah.
All right. So the 13th it is. So until then, everyone stay safe. If you need us, give us a call. And otherwise, thanks very much. And I will see you on the California call.